Okay. So let's talk about some political talk for a minute if we can. There has been major pushback from Joe Biden's $3.5 trillion plan. So how is that going to play into the stock market, the fight that the Republicans don't want to raise the debt ceiling? So, politics as usual, but how is that going to matter in the stock market?
In the long term, no. It's going to matter over the next couple of weeks, but for those of you who've been watching us since before the election and Biden versus Trump and who was going to win, I told you it historically doesn't matter. It may shake things up for a couple of weeks, but even in 2 months, it's not really going to matter. Of course, they're going to have their political war and they're going to do their positioning, but no, it may matter 2 or 3%. It may be like the smallest thing out of the major four to like push the market down.
Yeah. Can't get wrapped up in politics. It's
WWE, like Macho Man and Hogan fighting each other. But once again, you have to figure who's Vince McMahon. Like left wing, right wing, same bird. Like you have to understand the game inside of the game. That's a lot of showmanship.
Okay. So the stock market dropped. We talked about that the stock market usually drops around this time, so it's not anything out of the ordinary. But the big question is that do you foresee a prolonged drop in the market, or is this something that will recover in a couple of days?
Short term. I don't think it's going to last more than 3 weeks. If you're new, please look in the comments. If I've been right on the things that I've called on this show, please put yes in chat. If you're afraid to buy Apple, Microsoft, AMD, Nvidia, HD, Costco, Lowe's, Home Depot, XLK, please sell them to me.
Yeah.
This is the crazy part. You guys notice every time there's a historical headline about some massive drop in this big bear market that resembles 1929, why don't anyone but me come on and tell you guys when to buy? Breaking news alert. Man eats a bat and starts a worldwide virus. Okay. Great. Pathology doesn't work that way. That sounds like some DC Batman cartoon shit, right? It doesn't work that way. Why does no one tell you, hey, this is a great time to then buy? Because fear sells more clicks, gets more views than positive news does. Whenever you see these big greed or big fear headlines, you have to then realize it is a great time. It is a signal for great companies to be bought. That's the entire game. Most people won't do it though, because most aren't able to control their emotions when they see that information, and opposed to reacting off of emotion. I want you guys to react off the information and what historically has happened. So just be mindful of that.
Yeah, and we spoke about it. We spoke about what was going to happen, right? Like I said, we've seen this before, but Friday, I don't want to overlook that. How many people took profit, right? Those contracts ended, people took profit. We saw the Dow go down. We saw NASDAQ go down on Friday, right? What was really interesting is to see the last 5 minutes of trading today. Because like I said, the Dow was at its peak intraday was down 907 points. It closed at 614. We saw the NASDAQ down almost 497 points. It closed at 30, which means that people saw that it was oversold and said, all right, well,
let's start buying at the end of the day.
Let's start buying again.
Yeah.
Right. So that quick flip within 5 minutes tells you there's an indication here that, you know what, this is not going to be sustainable for the long run. Well, we don't see.
And we told you guys last week, like a new quarter is coming. So you're not going to put in a whole bunch of new positions and then report to clients when you can wait another quarter. For those that had a killer quarter, they want to report those to clients and then wait to October. It's a time. It's no different than like if you're up by 25 points and you're hooping, you want to sit your best players just in case injury happens.
Ooh,
it's the same thing.
That's a fire analogy, right?
So let me sit Jordan down and put in BJ Armstrong. Shout out BJ, right? And let him get his 8 points real quick. And then when third quarter comes, Mike got a breather. Now we can really run it up. It's the same game. It's about timing and knowing when to execute and then when to take risk off the table.
Yes.